first.
I can do all four of them, right?
Yes, sir.
And we do announcements and signings, and we'll open it up to Georgia Tech. And I'll do it in the order that we got them committed. Number one, Josh Taylor. We're excited about him. He's a Georgia family, or he's a Georgia kid and a Georgia family playing at Norcross now. What stood out to him right away was his level of rebounding, his ability to play end-to-end, his desire to rebound the ball, which is going to be a huge thing for us moving forward. Inside of this team, I like his length, I like his height. I think there's a lot of upside to him offensively. He likes to defend. He likes to block shots. He runs end-to-end. And we're excited to have him, and we're excited to have a guy that's now playing at Norcross, another guy that's playing at Norcross. Michael Starks, the two young men we signed from Eastern Florida. Michael Starks impressed me this summer. And I went in to see some other guys at a camp and left really enthralled with him. And then when I went back in the fall, I went with every intention of wanting to offer him a scholarship. And when I left that night, I did. And what I love about him is he's got an unbelievable level of toughness. He's fearless. He can shoot the ball, which is hugely important for us. And from a guard spot, you know, he can play with the ball. He can play without the ball. He can deliver the ball. He's very good in the pick and roll. And I like that he can attack the rim. He can score with both hands. He comes from a very good program. There's that level of toughness that comes from, you know, where he's from in Miami, and I like that a lot. And I like the fact that he really wanted to be here. And that meant a lot to me too, because we needed some leadership. You know, when we look at how young we are this year, and then we start to project, especially in the backcourt, what we're going to lose, you know, with this year, we wanted to make sure that it wasn't just, well, let's just replace seniors or somebody like Ray or Anthony, or let's say we lose somebody like that. Obviously, what do we want to do? Well, we want to be able to hit the ground running, and it's not just about replacing a senior with a freshman. So we obviously want some freshmen, but we also want to have some maturity, and I think Michael brings that. Jonathan Ned is going to be outstanding. He can shoot the ball. He made 45 threes last year as a freshman. He's 6'8". He can play numerous positions. He's already had a game of 17 rebounds this year. He's from California. He was one of those kids that was under-recruited, went to junior college to change his lot, and that's exactly what he did, and was being recruited heavily by the Pac-12. I mean, we weren't sure we'd be able to get either one of those guys early, but once it became something that we could do, then we definitely wanted to do it. He's versatile. He can pick and pop. He can drive it. You can play through him. I think he's going to get better and better with with strength and extended range, and being able to be even quicker at who he can guard, or getting to the point where he can guard numerous people. So I feel really, really good about signing those two. And then the last one is KD Johnson. And KD is a guy, he's got some tremendous toughness. So again, I feel really good with the backcourt of signing two guys that bring a pit bull mentality. They bring an energy, they bring an excitement. They can play with the ball, they can play without the ball. They're attack guards, but they can also shoot the ball. And I think that's really, really important. I think KD is a young guy that wanted to be here, and I think he's doing a really good job of trying to improve in every area that he can. I think it's one of the reasons that he went to Hargrave Military Academy. I like the discipline of that program. I've had success in the past with guys that have come out of there, and I feel good about him. And again, another Georgia young man, Georgia family that wanted to be here, that helps represent this program, I think, the right way. So that's where we stand right now with those four, and we'll continue to be active in our recruiting in every class, and because that's just the way it has to be, and it has to be that way more than ever, you know, now in college basketball. But we feel really, really good about those four. So go ahead.
As far as the Georgia Tech game goes, just when y'all decided to move the game up, classes or in the session, why was that such a big deal?
I think just for the students. I think so that it hits both school students. I think that was the biggest reason.
Coach, before you got here to Georgia, what did you know about the Georgia Tech rivalry? What have you learned about it in your couple of years being?
I didn't know a lot about it. I mean, I would follow it like I would follow other rivalries, but I think it's really important. I think last year getting a dose of it inside of Atlanta, inside of their arena, was really good for us and really good for me to get a feel for how important it is to people. And I just think it's one of those deals that no matter where you're at in your season, no matter where you're at in your program, no matter where you're at in your record, it doesn't matter when that game comes. And I think that's really important. I think that's what makes it such a good rivalry game.
You just talked about recruiting. What would it mean to beat Tech and show that you are potentially the best?
We want to win every game we play, and that certainly we want to win that one. But recruiting is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week situation, and it never comes down as much to 1 or 2 games. It comes down to the development of your program and what do you do with the players in it. But with that being said, Georgia Tech is obviously a game much like them. We want to win the game, just like we want to win every game.
What's your early impressions of them in their first couple of games? I know they had
Really
good.
fast, much improved. Probably the best team, and I mean, I'm not putting words in his mouth, but probably the best team I've seen that he has there. Very deep. They shoot the ball so much better than they did a year ago. DeVoe has improved tremendously. He's shooting 75% from 3 already. No question the addition of Bubba Parham makes a difference for them. Jose Alvarado is playing with really, really good maturity. And like I said, they're deep. They can do a lot of different things. They can play different ways, and they can keep the speed of the game going. And I think they do a really good job defensively. They do a tremendous job with their ball screen defense. They're getting back in transition well. They've got length, so they can mix man and zone, which they do. They're getting very good movement without the ball. I know cutting is a huge part of their game, and when you've got the ability to space and they can back up even more than they did a year ago with their range, that makes the cutting that much more dangerous.
Ant said that